In Meteor, because you are so fast, it looks like the app never loads. It loads once, and then it looks like it's just snappy with Okay, so this is what that sentence means. Okay, full stack reactivity. Again, you are subscribed to every single variable, every single object, every single event on the client and on the server. So as soon as something changes on the server, it notifies the client, it changes on your browser. If something changes on your browser, it notifies the client, changes on the server. Okay, so there's like this whole cycle that goes, and it's phenomenal. It's only phenomenal because you have to do nothing about it. Okay, you have to try it. Alright, embrace the ecosystem. Because Meteor.js has so much money, it can be assumed that they are going to go and write a bunch of stuff themselves. But they don't. They leverage on existing Node.js packages. Okay, so anything that you can do with Node, anything that you can do with your usual stack, you can still do it on Meteor. So this is not platform specific. Okay, you can use anything out there to integrate it with your Meteor application. Alright, last but not least, simplicity equals productivity. This explains itself. Again, the simplicity of doing something on Meteor.js is incredible. Take a look at setting. There was like a lot of swirly looking code on Angular and Ember, right? So we're going to fix that in a second. Yeah, it's there. Alright, so these are where I think the best parts are. Instant response. It never loads. You know how we have like this loaded, like that state? It's almost never used in Meteor because nobody wants to do a loader because everything is just loading. Okay, but they do it. Okay, reactive UI. Anything that you do should give instant feedback to your user. Okay, because this is a great user experience. If I click on the button, I want to know that something has happened. I want you to acknowledge it. Just like when somebody says hello to you, okay? You want like someone to smile back immediately. Not that they walk down the hall and be like, oh hi. Yeah. So UI is reactive and fast loading time. Meteor loads once on your clients and that's it. There is no more loading. It behaves as though it is a native application. Okay, and it runs on multiple platforms. Have you guys seen Meteor and what it does? You can write an application, okay, and in in 3 lines on the terminal, okay, you can generate a mobile application. Fully featured. Shit, wow. Everybody's looking at me, like, I'm going to sell you another. It's not anything like that, it's true. Okay, so you can generate a Cordova-based application with just the terminal. Like you have no draft code. Alright. So this would be fantastic in a hackathon. Okay, so it's very easy to learn. You can do so many things immediately with it, and it does so many fancy things for you. Alright. So again, with this notation, it's very similar that we see over and over again, right? Okay, so we have a bunch of friends. Then we're going to display their first name, last name. This embedding agent is called Blaze, by the way. Okay, so this handles all the changes that go left and right and center. Okay, and then all we are doing is adding a class. This is very readable. Is it? No?
Yeah.
Yes, so. Alright, so this was very short. See, like I promised you, because the code is very simple. Yes. I'll come back to you. Let's look at the good stuff first. Alright. Immediately we see something very different about this framework. Alright. So you see this?
Yeah.
These are components that we're building. It has nothing to do with the application. Do you see this? These are packages that are loaded on Meteor has nothing to do with the application. Do you know where the application is? If these two files are essentially running the exact same app as everybody else. I haven't counted how many lines of code the Ember application take, the Angular application take, but we can count how many lines of code there is in this. Alright, so first thing we're doing here is that we're initializing a new collection. And this is going straight to the database, by the way. There is no local storage. Why do that when you can immediately have MongoDB, right? Alright. You can separate your code in different kind of ways, but you can also separate it by checking if it's client or if it's server. So first things first. Alright, we're gonna do nothing here. Okay. So these are the selections. All the to-do lists that are active are incomplete, and all the ones that are completed are completed. And these are the parameters that are in the database. These are the values that are actually in the database. Okay, over here we see some shiny _JS. I'm sorry, this is Lodash. Almost the same thing, much faster. Okay, so all we're doing here is that we're trying to get the key of each of these items. Okay, and then we try to assign this one. And based on this routing, we're going to try to filter. So in each of these objects, each of these to-dos, okay, we're going to add a filter, which is like to do and not to do. Okay, let's look at something here. Can you see? Clearer one. This one. Make OK cancel handler. This is just a convention. You can name it any way that you want. And this is going to run right here. So this is going to listen to key counts or event key number 27. Who knows what is number 27?
Return.
Escape.
Oh.
I don't know.
Return.
Check that for. Alright. And over here, all we are doing is just checking stuff that are in the database already. Okay, so these are the ones for the to-do for the completed to-dos. Okay, so it's going to look at how many there are in the database, okay, that are completed. So this is defined, which is like where when you do like a SQL statement. Alright, and these are the ones that are opposite. These are the ones that are actually incomplete. Alright. Then we're gonna do our first event, which is to add. This is when we either press enter or we will wait for. No, I have to press enter. Okay. So this is once we press OK, we're passing in the title and we're inserting it directly to the database. This call is done from the client. Because Meteor lets you use the same API on the server and on the client, you can write code like this. So this is a fairly acceptable way to write code. Same thing that we were doing, is that we are creating it, then we're adding a creator add time, because MongoDB does not handle this automatically. And then we are putting the title, and we're defaulting complete to false. Okay, we're going to have. So these events are corresponding to the template main, which is here. We're going to look for main right here. That's it. Can you see how much shorter the code is? It's how much more concise and clear it is on the template. So each template is going to have its own helpers. So this is what manages state for each template. Okay. Think of template as a component or as a directive in AngularJS and AngularJS respectively. Okay. So for each one of these items, we are going to iterate and we're going to display another template. So on the to-dos or that list, we're calling this template a lot of times. And this is that template. this one. So this is the one that manages either we're going to show, or we're going to edit, or is it complete, incomplete. There you go, 66 right here. So what I tell you right here, that's 296 lines of code to get the same exact application. Look at this one. Here, completed. When we did this, okay, remove all the ones that are true. Does that make sense? So anything in the database, okay, we're going to remove it if they are true, if they're completed. So, to get on to that question as to surely there is something behind this incredible application, this incredible platform, Meteor.js, what is the catch? The biggest catches with it is that it makes the application really big. Okay, because you're doing all this loading, you're loading a database, so it makes the application a lot bigger than you usually would. So you end up with some type of growth in the application, so that size. And then having the client and the server be available for each other in such a way lets you write code like that. As much of that is, it increases simplicity, it increases readability. That's not good for maintainability. Okay, so down the line, big Meteor apps, I've not seen an actual big Meteor app. So we'll see how this works out. Okay, but also, just give me 1 second, sir. Also, there are a lot less APIs in Meteor than there is in Ember, so learning it is really good. Okay, so there's like absence. Does that answer? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I noticed the whole script, which part of script on the client side?
Yeah, okay, so for that part of that application, everything was in one single file. Okay, but the only separation was there's an if statement, if is client, and everything inside that if block, okay, is on the client.
So
And
only that snippet of the
yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. So this is what separates what gets sent to the local browser. So this is what the user sees, what they do. So the less stuff that you can put on this client, the smaller the application is going to be. But the less code that you put on this, the less reactive it's going to be. Okay, because if you have to do so many calls between the server, then it's not going to be as snappy as you would like it to be. Although there is a local implementation of MongoDB. So the database still is going to go fast. But then all the server-side calculations that you want to do, or computations, are going to be handled on the server. Okay. Anything else, guys? Go ahead, please.
Is it important all these frameworks is focused on that?
Excellent question. Okay. First of all, I would love for you to know that nobody knows all these frameworks at one time. It's very difficult because if you're going to go into one, then you're going to learn the philosophies of one. And as soon as you try to learn another, you're going to try to bring that philosophy with you, and then you're going to try to write Ember code and Angular. So it's going to come up shitty anyway. Okay, so it's best to focus on one. Okay, but if you feel that you're trying like a framework and it did not suit your need, try another. That's fine. You don't have to stick with one forever. So to answer that question, if you can, focus on learning one at a time. Okay, but if you want to expand your horizon, just give everything and anything a try. If honestly, if you Google this like this question, like which is better than which is better than, it's never going to end. So Ember and Angular, they only handle the front. Meteor handles the back end along with it. Okay, so that's what you need. But if you already have an existing API, if you already have an existing application already on the server, all you want to do is just generate like a backend admin for somebody to track. Maybe give that a try, right? And there's another one that we did not speak of, which he wanted me to. Okay, React.js. Anybody heard of React.js? So what was that your question? Yeah, go ahead. What was the question? That's right.
How about React.js?
It's a very good question. Okay. Okay, out of all of them, okay, it's gonna sound like the nerdiest thing I'm gonna say tonight. React.js handles state. See, how you gonna say it? It's like, it handles state the best. State is always known to every single item in the DOM. Okay, but that comes at a price, at a really, really heavy price. You have to write a lot of code to make it work. And React.js does not compare to any of these frameworks, okay, because it solely handles the view. Okay, so it's in MVC, React only does the view. So it doesn't. That's right. Okay, so it comes in built, but for React, you have to have an existing application that you're throwing React into. Okay, so if you want to handle routes, you cannot do that with React. If you want to handle like data, you cannot do that with React. So it depends on what your use case is. React is fantastic, but one, it's very lengthy code. It's a lot more code than you would like to write. Okay, so a lot more code does not only mean a lot more time, it means a lot more debugging. Okay, so you have to see the offset of that, what that entails for you and what that means for your application. But React processes data really, really quickly. Like, so you can manipulate the DOM at a speed so fast that it seems like it's always running correctly. But not everybody has so much data to crunch. So there is no point that I go and write so much code just to display a user detail to themselves, like who's looking at his profile. There's no crunching of that data at all. But if you do something like analytics that you want constantly to refresh, get like thousands of data in like a minute, yeah, sure, why not? So it would be worth it to write all that code to handle that state in that such a manner. Please. No. So that remains on the browser, on the server. Yes. Yes. So Meteor does not send one file into it. So it compiles it and sends it as like all of it into one single file. Okay, so to set up Meteor locally, you just need to install it and do Meteor create and name your app. That's it. So it's very easy to get started with. It is nothing that you need to handle to tell it, oh, okay, send this to the server and send this to the client. It handles it automatically. Yeah? Please. I'm sorry? This is an excellent question. A lot of JavaScript frameworks, they get a lot of stick because they only render DOM elements when they are loaded. So only when they're called. So this does not work for a web crawler because web crawler comes in, they see nothing, they're like, your application sucks, you have nothing on it. So this decreases the value of your application, but this has been taken care of by a lot of different libraries and stuff like that. So there is a way that you can preload DOM elements and DOM data and like meta tags and all this kind of good stuff. But you have to do something about it. So if you don't do anything about it, it will not be SEO. A lot of times, people when they use AngularJS, Meteor, it is for applications that are after user logs in. Okay, so there would be a landing page to to take care of that. So they let the landing page do all the SEO and put all their tracking and all the stuff on it. But as soon as the user logs in, you don't need to. Because the crawler is never going to see that anyway, right? So it's okay for it not to be there. Yeah, very good.
Last three questions.
Last three questions. Go ahead.
Two questions. We are starting with Angular. We start with Angular 2 and why or why not? And then we just have a short comment on other frameworks like Koa or Happy.js.
I have not tried Koa or Happy.js. Yeah. So because there's so many frameworks, like no one person can really try them all. But I've tried another one which we did not speak about tonight, Backbone. I think that should be a serious contender into. I'm not sure what your application is tracking, but if you are trying to decide between Angular 1 and Angular 2, if you never tried either, go with Angular 2. But you cannot write it in JavaScript. That's a huge one. So you have to, get on with the CMA6 notation, or you can use, it's not ActionScript, what the hell is that called? You can use Dart to write Angular 2. Have you seen Dart? It's like a JavaScript-like like a language, also developed by Google. So you have to use either one of these languages to write Angular 2. So give it a shot, write simple applications, and write them again in that other framework and see which one you feel like it. Because it's really about feel. What was the other question? I was okay, thank you. Okay, two more. Good.
Is the Meteor fixed to use MongoDB or can we?
This is the question that haunts my dreams every night. I said, why can't I use something else? Okay, so I hate it because it does that, but I love everything else, so it makes it difficult. But there's a reason why it works in Mongo, but there's not working like MySQL, because of the reactivity thing. You cannot be subscribed to a MySQL data, but you can to a MongoDB data. But there are libraries that are being written. It's only for the brave. Okay, so you can use wrappers for MySQL and PostgreSQL that handle that reactivity part. So it will not do it as well, but it will be close. I tried the one for MySQL, it sucked. Angry. Because it's such a fantastic framework, but I'm limited to MongoDB. I understand why, but do something about it. Okay, the last one before we all go home and try Ember.js, right? That's what you're gonna do, right? I think that's it.
You mentioned that you're MongoDB or Rails.
That's right.
How easy is it to integrate AngularJS or Node.js?
Good question. So there are a lot of specific libraries that handle like specific gens that handle integration with Ember and Angular. So Angular is a lot easier than Ember to integrate because you can slot it in anywhere. But then Ember, it tries to be a full application. Okay, so you have to call it as one single view in Rails. Then when you start on just like that, and then you display your application there and loads. So your Rails application will have one single view. But if you're doing things in Angular, you can call that Angular controller from different views. Does that make sense? Yeah, actually, I felt like that didn't. Okay. It's easy for Angular, it's not easy for Angular. Sure, actually in return that makes it easier. Okay, because you don't have to worry about all the compilation that that Rails takes care of for you. So we write CoffeeScript and SAS all the time, but we never think about, hey, who is handling all this compilation? Rails is. So we use Compass to get that for you. Okay, because if you were to write just a CoffeeScript in just any other application, you cannot run it on the browser unless you transpile it. Okay, so it's the same with Angular. You need to have Rails handling it for you. So it's easier to start if you're going to do with Rails with Angular with Rails. So I would recommend that. There's a good clip on it on Railscast. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So actually there was some resources I wanted to show you guys. If you guys would have 1 minute, we'll skip that last question. Everybody wants to go home. Education guys. Alright. So this is what the AngularJS website looks like. This is for version 1.430, I think yeah, 03 and below. Angular 2 has a different website, you might want to look at that. This is an example of a Meteor app. Okay, but you have to be logged in to see the Meteor font. Okay, but okay. This is another application also written in Meteor. Okay, Hauser. So this is for you to draw plans, like floor plans. Very, very cool. So I also have this nifty extension that lets me know what that website is written in. So it's just not coming up right now because I think I'm not connected. But then it usually lists out all There we go. So this is with Meteor.js. Okay, there's GA on it, there's a handlebar, Pin.js, everything. So weaponizing. So this lets me create on other websites. Alright, this is Touristy. This is our fun Android project. Alright. So this to answer your questions, this was written in Rails in the backend and Ember.js on the front, but they were two separate applications. So the Rails application was only serving API, so you don't have to, and so you wouldn't see it on here. So Require.js also handles a lot of dependency injection. This is the Ember.js website, it's so cute, my favorite. You can get stickers of this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so much stickers. Yeah, I know. So these are the sites that are using Ember. So Group 1, everybody knows Group 1. Okay, Zendesk and Discourse. I would like to show you Discourse. Before that, this is the Meteor.js website. This is what $11.2 million thing can see. Oh, see, this is the app. This is how it will look like on the browser, but with the magic of CSS and Meteor. This is how it looks like on a mobile app, and this is true. This is real. You can also get this, man. It looks like a real app. I'm a big boy now. Just checking to see who's still awake. Alright, so this is Discourse. Discourse is a forum kind of application. It's open source. You can take a look at it. It's written with Rails and Ember. Okay, it's developed by the same person who developed Rails and Ember incidentally. One of the core team members. Okay, so it looks like a very, very fancy forum. There's all the stuff for you. So there is a discourse about Ember.js, so that's where all the good quality Ember.js questions and answers are. Unfortunately, they're not on Stack Overflow. Alright, this is Atmosphere.js. This is a package manager for Meteor. Yeah, I can remember. Can you see this? Can you see this connecting trying to server? This is built by Meteor. So this comes up if you're disconnected. You can suppress it, okay, but it knows. Okay? So you can install some of these packages, and installing a package is just one line on the command line. Recently we ran a class to teach Meteor.js, and one of the challenges were to integrate Facebook login. Okay? Believe it or not, it was 3 lines. The one line is to add the plugin, and the 2 other lines were to add the app secret and the app other secrets. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Okay, this is one of the most fantastic resources available.
Yeoman.
Yeoman. So Yeoman helps you get scaffolds. So what a scaffold is basically starting boilerplate code for your application. So if you have no idea how you want to structure a new app, Yeoman is what to do. Okay, so it does a lot of things with Angular, it does a lot of things with, sorry, before that, it is these 3 things. Yo, so Yo is the scaffold generator, you can write your own stuff. And then you have Grunt. So Grunt is what you set up to help you compile your code, help you minify, your Sass, CoffeeScript, all this stuff. And then you have a Bower. So Bower is a package manager written by Twitter. So this is like Node package manager. So you can do Bower install jQuery. And then incidentally, you can do Bower update jQuery. And that is all that you ever have to do in your application. Great tool. So when you use Yeoman, they come with all 3. Alright, and this is the mind-blowing Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think we got it covered. So this application is nothing special other than the name. It's called Sass. podcast for that, so Darul Samsung. Okay, that's it. Alright, that's about it really. Thank you so much.
First, thank you everyone for attending. And
I stayed
thanks,
awake.
thanks for this awesome speaker. So before you leave, let's take a group photo. Everyone on stage. Yeah.
Sorry guys, don't be.